Welcome to Olympia, Washington. Today we're going to share why so many people are moving here and what you can expect when you get here. And why for some of you, moving here might be the best decision of your life and maybe for others, the worst.
Hard to say, but let's dive into the details. We're Joe and Charity, local realtors, and we help people just like you every week who are looking to move into the areas. Well, one of the things you need to do before you move to any area is get a little bit of a history lesson. And so we want to bring you up to speed on some of the things that I would even venture to say most locals don't know because do we know our history? It's hard to say.
The first Americans settled here in 1846, Levi Smith and Edmund Sylvester. And by 1850, Sylvester had named the area Olympia after the gorgeous Olympic Mountains, which are right over there.
Now, by 1853, the population had swelled to nearly 1,000 people in this area around the water. And what happened after that was people started to decide, hey, we want the capital to be in our area, but we said no to Seattle and Vancouver, and we have the capital here. And because of that, we're just far more awesome. Now, Olympia has continued to grow and thrive since then, becoming a place that people love to live for various reasons.
One of the reasons is because it's a great city with a lot going on, great restaurants, and it's the perfect size where you feel like you can really be a part of the city, and there's beautiful nature surrounding you everywhere. It also has a great vibe. It's very progressive and open-minded. It's a place where people can come and thrive.
So whether you're moving across country or across the state, we're going to show you some more reasons why people love to live in Olympia.
When you're thinking about moving to an area, we know it's important to know what actually is going on in the city, and is it going to be a fun place to live? And if this
type of lifestyle is something that intrigues you, well, then be intrigued. This is part of the downtown area. It's a wonderful place on the boardwalk just to go up and down. There's great restaurants that are connected to it that are quite yummy. We've got to, I think, most of them at this stage in the game.
Pretty much all of them. Besides restaurants, what do you need besides restaurants?
Honestly, you could walk it off on the boardwalk and then have seconds afterwards.
That's right. And then some ice cream.
Ice cream.
Don't forget that. But if you're going to do something else, what are some of the other things that are going on here? Well, if you got little kids, we've got the hands-on Children's Museum and the Wet Science Center, which is really cool. You can get yearly passes and you can go there all the time.
And of course, the farmer's market, where you don't even have to be a farmer to go and to get things. Everybody is welcome. That's the nice thing about Olympia being so inclusive.
The farmers are there and you get to buy their goods. That's how it works. You've also got the Washington Center for the Performing Arts, which, as it sounds, you've got a lot of performing arts going on there. We are there almost every year at Christmas time, listening to a Christmas concert, but there's ballets and symphony and all kinds of great stuff, as well as Harlequin Productions has their own theater, and they put on great productions. In fact, Pride and Prejudice is going on right now, and I might make him go with me.
And of course, there's festivals going on all year long. Matter of fact, one a couple weeks ago was Harbor Fest.
Yeah, and we got to go on a really cool boats. There was a pirate ship here, actually, and an old ferry and all kinds of cool stuff. And another time of year, there's a wood boat festival, and that's a lot of fun too, because a lot of the boat owners let you come on board and check out their boats, which is so much fun. But besides just the water-related events, there's all kinds of other stuff. Olympia is known for its Procession of the Species event, which is a huge arts and earth celebration. In fact, people plan for 6 weeks and create these elaborate costumes, and they parade through the streets, and they have both a daytime and a nighttime luminary procession, and
that's fun.
It's stunning what people can do.
And actually, that's one of the things that we really like about Olympia. It's a little quirky, it's artsy, it's got a lot of that fun vibe that's associated with that community. So you're gonna love it if that's something you're into.
And Joe's talking about the quirkiness vibe. That is definitely here. So it has a lot to do with the earth. Like the other day, we went to an event where people were dancing to the music of the trees, which was very cool. And there are fairy festivals that happen in the woods and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're looking for unique things to do, there's a lot of unique things happening.
Which is actually a lot of fun. I love that people here have a strong connection to the earth and a strong connection to conservation. It actually makes it a very unique and beautiful place.
Well, we are live from the state capitol with this breaking news. You should move here. Well, actually, what are you going to do if you do move here? Let's talk about the economic growth.
So there are, significant amount of jobs dedicated to this.
In fact, 20% of the job market in Olympia is government sector. So if you want to work for the government, if you've got a passion to change things, or perhaps you have a passion not to change things, well, here's your option. You could work here at the government.
Or, of course, you can just do some admin jobs for all of these jobs here, or other state-related jobs that are around us. In fact, we are surrounded by a ton of government buildings, all filled with people with great jobs and great retirement benefits. So if you're not going to work for the state, then there still is about 15% of the people in our area work for
Healthcare. That means if you got bored to death or nearly died at your last job, they're going to take care of you with healthcare. You can maybe think, oh, government's a boring job. Well, we've got you covered there in the healthcare and healthcare sector services.
Number 3 on the list of top employers in the area is educational. So we've got colleges here, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, and also, of course, high schools, middle schools, elementary schools. So if you are a teacher or support of educational systems, then there's a lot of jobs for you here.
You're going to love it. One of the fastest areas of growth in our area is a work from home. So it's hard to put an exact number on how many that is compared to like the 20%, which is trackable with the government. Working from home is becoming so much more compelling in our area.
So if you're one of those lucky people who gets to work from home and choose wherever you want to live in the entire world, actually Olympia might be the place for you. And then about 25% of the people that live here and work here are split between retail and the trades and technical and professional services. So there's quite a bit of opportunity in the Olympia area.
But the great thing about living in Olympia is everybody's backyard looks just like this. Well, not exactly, but you do have a lot of the outdoors that you could go find very close if your backyard doesn't happen to look quite like this.
But a lot of them do. We are standing right now actually at Slawter Park, which is also named Ice Point Park, and it is a gorgeous park that sprawls this way and that way on one side of the road. The other side of the road has waterfront access, has trails, has little picnic areas, has play areas. It is an amazing park, and it's just right up from downtown.
Like literally 3 minutes from downtown.
Exactly.
And there are so many other great parks to check out within minutes of downtown. A couple of our other favorites are
Burfoot Park, which also you walk through the woods and you come out on the beach. Beautiful. This Quality Wildlife Refuge, it has a beautiful boardwalk all the way out into the sound. It's amazing. And then they have this whole estuary area where you can take a look at all the wildlife and the birds and all the species that live there.
And it's absolutely really beautiful, worth a couple hour trip just to meander down around there for sure.
The other outdoor activities, as you can imagine, are related to the water. So if you want to get out on the water and you want to kayak, and
paddleboarding, boating, a little fishing, whatever it might be, there are both saltwater and freshwater lakes for you to get on for all of those type of activities.
And of course, just getting a little bit outside of the Olympia area, you're going to have access to Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, the Olympic Mountains, the Olympic National Forest. There are so many areas to explore. You will be endlessly exploring if you move here.
And talking about getting outside, you have to know that it is always like this. It's always beautiful, 75 degrees. It never rains. Somehow this lush green just pops up. Okay, none of that's true. You have multiple seasons. And of course, in the winter, you're going to get a lot of light drizzly or heavy drizzly rain. But we do have wonderful falls and summers that are absolutely a delight to get out to and enjoy.
In our opinion, Olympia actually has the best weather in all of the Northwest. We have lived up and down the coast, and here it's warmer. And so when you want to get that good warm feeling before it goes back to the drizzle, then this is the place that you can get that good feeling.
So let's jump in and talk about affordability and housing in Olympia.
All right, so we know what it's like to move to the area. We moved here 7 years ago, and we had to make a decision on what was the best area to live in and what we could afford. And that's probably the same questions you're asking. And Olympia is actually quite affordable compared to other areas. In fact, 40% cheaper than Seattle itself. It is the most affordable city in Western Washington if you're on the water. So if you're in Bellingham, if you're in Everett, if you're in Seattle, if you're in Tacoma, if you're in Vancouver, those are all more expensive.
We got you covered. We're a way better deal.
That's right.
So the average price in Olympia is $565,000. You can definitely find things cheaper than that in the surrounding areas. And of course, if you want to be on the water, you can find things more expensive than that as well. But it does give you a good idea of what you could expect.
Or if you want something a lot less expensive, you can do what we did and buy a fixer-upper, which...
We fixed up. And by we, I have a mouse in my pocket because she did not help.
I did some. So we found a fixer-upper. It looks like it had great potential.
And it did. Great potential. And a great many of things that needed to be repaired.
In fact, more than we even could tell when we bought it. It took us 5 years.
About that. Yeah.
What were the most extreme things that you enjoyed living through in that experience?
I think my favorite thing when we live through any type of remodel is sheetrock dust. It is so delightful just to get on everything. Kind of makes you feel like you just went through like a powdered donut machine and completely covered head to toe. It's really
not
good.
Tasty though.
It's not. It needs some raspberry filling, and maybe I need a diet.
One of the other messy things that we lived through was Joe jackhammering concrete floors in our house. And we were living there the entire time. We did not spend a night away from there. So it was a crazy 5 years, and we are glad to be on the other side. So there's housing from all the way at the bottom where you need to fix it, all the way up to $1 million properties.
Which you need to do nothing on.
Yes.
Thank goodness. I want one of those next time. One of the reasons we chose the house that we did was because of the school system. Now, Olympia has wonderful school systems from elementary all the way through high school, and there's multiple great ones. We just happened to be at Olympia High School, and it was a wonderful experience for our youngest son.
Yeah, our son had such a great experience at Olympia High School. He was involved in sports. He actually got to be on the state championship team where they won baseball that year in his junior year. And of course, his academics were fantastic. He was able to take college courses, which made him able to jump into college and already have a lot of things done. There are so many great things about Olympia Schools, but also the other school districts in the area are very highly rated, and we recommend that you look them up online and choose an area that you think is going to fit your needs and your kids' needs. Then we've also got the Evergreen State College and South Puget Sound Community College, so great opportunities for higher education as well.
And of course, healthcare is something that's important to know about before you move into the area. And good news, we've got great healthcare in the region.
Capital Medical Center and St. Peter's deliver high quality care and have outstanding ratings. In fact, I have some clients who work at St. Peter's and they said it's a great work environment and people are treated with respect, and it's a really fantastic hospital. And on top of that, Olympia has an abundance of wellness-focused businesses, yoga studios, gyms, and salons. It's a very outdoorsy place, as you know, so there's always a lot to do and a lot of ways to stay healthy.
So if you're considering moving to the Olympia area or one of the surrounding cities that we also serve, feel free to reach out to us. Go ahead and call or text us on the number below. We'd love to help.
And if this video is helpful, like and subscribe, and keep watching the next one.